I'm Tom from California Dad Reviews, and this is a look at the Brio train table. So you've probably seen these train tables in stores, at a toy store, maybe if you go to Barnes& and Noble, even restaurants, barbershops for kids, that kind of thing. They often have these giant train tables, maybe at a school or a daycare. But you might not know you can actually get one for your house. So this one is from Brio. So if you use Brio trains, you know they're really high quality, great wooden tracks, and all different kinds of trains that work with them. And if your kid is into trains, then they probably love playing with those, but they can get kind of messy all over the floor, and it can be hard to set them up and play with them if you're only a couple feet tall. So the Brio train table is awesome for that because it creates one kind of contained space where your kid can set up and play with their trains, as you see mine has here. And depending on the table you get, there's kind of interesting features on it visually. So here you've got a little kind of water area and land, so they can pretend and put boats and things here. In this case, the tracks are just going every which way, but it's again nice to just sort of keep this contained and have a really nice space for them to play with trains. So the Brio table is kind of expensive. I think this one was about $200 to $300. You can get it on Amazon, and it's just really high quality construction. So this is super solid. It's not going to fall over. They can go all the way, around it and play. It's pretty big, so just to be aware, it really fills up a whole space. And that's good in one sense because you can have multiple kids play around it, and it's a great social activity. But definitely make sure you have enough room where you're going to set it up before you go ahead and buy one. It comes not assembled, so it comes in kind of flat packed box. It's super heavy, but you can get it on Amazon. And it took about maybe 45 minutes to set up, so it's not terrible. You're basically, standard sort of thing with these little Allen wrench pieces, and you can see it's just solid wood all the way along the sides here. The play surface, my kid's been using this for over a year, and it gets maybe a little bit scratched up, but it's really, you can see, pretty high quality. It's holding up really well. You can probably get cheaper versions of this that aren't Brio branded, but just, again, I really like the stability of it, so they can run around it and shake it and move things around as much as they want. It's not going to fall over. The clearance is pretty good. It's a couple of feet tall, so it's perfect height for a toddler up to a slightly older kid. But if you have, a 10-year-old who still likes to play with these kinds of things, it might be a little bit tall for the table. One nice thing with it is it does also create a space underneath. So you see my kid has put the different kinds of trains underneath the train table. But of course, you could put bins to store trains that are not being used. And it also makes a little hideout that he likes to go into. So that's the Brio train table. I really, again, love, pretty easy setup. It's just really super solid. It's high quality. If they're used to playing one of these in a store or at school or in a daycare, it's just so exciting to have one at home. And it is a great social activity because it kind of gives, if you have other kids over for a play date, it gives them a focus in an area that they can go and play. And then, of course, it contains all of your trains and train accessories and everything in one space, so they're not all over the floor. If you have pets like a dog, they're not chewing things up. It's all sort of contained in one area where they can put this and play with it, and they can build their own layouts as much as they want and kind of keep everything all out in that one space. If you found this helpful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps.